A Celtics W.
The Evan Fournier era begins.
We don't get many of those.
The Evan Fournier era
The
begins.
Moe Wagner era began, actually.
The comments are going to be blowing up with Moe Wagner hype, as they were all day.
Give me a
We're
break.
all saying his name right now. Like, we all know him well. We're
Let's
all
not be
big Moe
silly.
Wagner fans.
Yeah.
It's not us, it's them.
It's again, them is just
No,
a
it's me
couple of
too.
people. Yeah.
No, it's not. I want to see it. If you're in the chat right now and you're a Moe Wagner believer, stand up.
Outliers, Bobby.
More money.
The vocal
You're going to just see
minority.
him. Yeah, look at it. It's already flowing in.
It's the
That's
vocal
it.
minority is
You know,
what it is.
hey, you know
That
that
might stick.
meme,
More
that
money.
meme of the guy walking with presumably his girlfriend, but he's turning around and he's like checking out that girl. You know that one? That's me, and I'm checking out Mo, and I'm like, see ya, Taco. Like that's what's going on here now.
I thought you would go with Theis.
That
You know what? For you, tacos, that's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
He already
Yeah,
had just butt
Taco's
fumble
out.
moment on that drive, right? Oh my God,
Yeah.
where he got wiped out. That was hideous. He's just like,
Little did we know
Oh.
his insertion was garbage time. I could not believe that fourth just faded away the way it did.
yeah.
Well, the Bucks didn't want to play anymore.
You
Yeah.
couldn't.
The second night of a back-to-back, waiting for them to just like the Celtics do. You know?
Yeah, true. They're playing the Knicks tomorrow.
Waiting for
Tell
the
you what, though.
revamped Celtics.
It was close to not being garbage time. One deep three-pointer could have made that a 6-point game and very interesting.
Yeah, but it was all about Giannis. It was like Giannis didn't have it the other night. He doesn't have it tonight. It's not happening. You know, I'm still surprised he started waving the white towel that soon though.
Well, you know
So
what?
where do we-
They were announcers
He's scared of
talking
Rob.
about it all game.
He's scared of Rob.
Gorman and Scal were talking about it all game. Like Giannis just wasn't into it.
Yeah, which I was surprised. I don't know what's going on because I expected the complete opposite of what we saw 2 nights ago. I thought the Celtics, because of that, the Celtics would be in big trouble no matter what, but that wasn't the case.
Well, we're
Right,
starting
exactly.
to see. We're starting to see the basis of some real good defense with this team between these last 2 games. It's a good matchup for them. I mean,
no, Bobby, I don't know, man. I really don't think last game was great on defense, but okay, go ahead though.
I mean, for large stretches, they shut down Giannis or whatever. We don't have to go over that again. But tonight, we're going to completely agree. Phenomenal defensive performance, probably the best of the year. They were connected. They were getting in passing lane, specifically that first quarter. Kemba got a steal. Brown had 1. I think Rob had 2 early in that sequence. So they were just getting out in transition, moving the ball, and they were all in a string on that end. And what sticks out to me most, and I know the story of this one's probably going to be Rob moving into the starting lineup, they don't have to
There's
drop
2
him the way
stories.
they used to. And the way he's able to defend in space at this point is a huge bonus for that starting lineup because they can play the way they want to defensively. And that's going to be the story of this team going forward for the rest of this year now that they're going to be all wings instead of double big and some of this other nonsense they've been doing. Everybody can switch. Everybody can defend down in space, and it's going to make them a much better team.
It's twofold, Bobby. Obviously, the defense, and again, Ainge said it today. You know, like he's our best defensive player, and I'm like, oh, obviously, but people dispute that. But it's offensively, it's not an accident that like people were just freer to just less pressure on them because again, that whole just that Rob presence, even though they just refused, they missed him on the roll a ton of times. He could have had quite a few in there. But who's putting up comments?
Oh, did I just do that?
Yeah, you did that, Jimmy. I gave you studio access one time.
Look at that.
Look at that.
You're shipping Kemba out of town?
Get that out of there. No, get that out of there. I didn't even do that. I was literally trying to read them. I'm like, women's now. But no, I was actually.
Is this you
posting them. My
trying to
bad.
get back at Nick somehow for that time?
Jimmy just joined John's Dump Kemba parade.
No, but
on my part.
Offensively, like
My bad.
how much more space did they all have out there, and how much more did they have to roll? And again, it's a make-miss league. And again, they hit all their threes. Everybody looks great when all of those shots go. It is what it is. But I mean, everything looked better. I'm not going to attribute it all to Rob, but I mean, this way, any concerns about Rob going against the other team's starters, we can at least throw those out.
Yeah, I mean, especially against the team like the Bucks. Right?
If you
Go ahead,
ever
sorry.
actually believed that this year, I mean, we all believed that last year when he was barely playing and when he did.
Well, some people believed it.
Yeah, I know. Especially in the playoffs last year. I mean, that was fair. But I think over the last month or so, we've all been begging and saying, put him in there. Let's see what he can do. We think that he can roll with these guys, but you have to actually throw him into the fire, throw him into the pool, whatever you want, whatever analogy you want to use, and see if he can swim. So, and he was swimming laps today. He was swimming laps in Giannis's head, in his brain. He was all up in it. I think that was part of the reason why Giannis was a little disengaged. I don't think he wanted to mix it up with Rob. I really don't think he did. He didn't want to end up on the other side of a
You really believe that?
Dunk. I do believe that. I don't think he had the energy to go at Rob tonight, and he just kind of floated around. I mean, he still hit his shots. He still dunked on Taco. Rest in peace. But again, that was see you, John. That was I think he saw Rob out of the game. He said, "All right, I'm gonna go get mine now." And then Rob comes in, and he goes back into his hole. That was the game. I saw tonight. I think Rob had the upper hand. Rob was everywhere. Not to turn
it's
into
one
a Rob
thing to
segment
say,
already.
Yeah, no question. It's one thing to say that he rattled them. I think that was evident, especially Giannis in certain stretches when he was getting really frustrated. I think he frustrated Giannis, but I don't know if Giannis is like scared of him. I don't think he's like, man, I don't want that.
I think Giannis is off with that knee or something.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't look himself. Yeah, I think the frustration just boiled over, but he was frustrated with himself. He's like, what's going on? Where are my superpowers? That's the Giannis I saw. I don't know necessarily he was thinking to himself, man, I don't want to go back in there. Rob's going to embarrass me, But obviously Rob did a hell of a job, incredible job. I mean, whether we're talking defense alone, just being at the right spot, I thought one thing that stood out to me in that first quarter was just the way he closed out the perimeter, just closed out a three-pointer, hand in the face, as to box the guy out, even in front of the perimeter. I love that, basic stuff. He wasn't obviously the pump fake to have him jump in, and he wasn't, hesitant and second guessing himself, defensively. Yeah, I mean, he clearly made a humongous impact.
So first off, I'm in full support of the move to start him, to move Theis. I was a big fan of the trade deadline and clearing out opportunities for these young guys because I thought that was one of many different directions they could go and things they could accomplish at that time.
I just wish it was Tristan, not Theis, who went. But then,
now you want to see Rob starting. All right.
Well, no, I mean, if Theis is here, you start Theis. If he's not, in our Oakland A's scenario, look who's the starter.
This is again, and this is the one thing I'm going to lose my mind over. Before the game, what did Brad say? Well, Rob's going to get an opportunity tonight, but when Tristan comes back, we got to see. And then the most baffling comment before the game was Brad saying, Rob's more comfortable as a starter. I mean, as off the bench.
That's an off the bench.
Well, he doesn't. He's never started. How can you say he's more comfortable off the bench?
That's a good point.
How do you even know that's true?
How do you know that's true? Like, I was joking on our text thread. Like, I'm more comfortable in Massachusetts than Montana, but I've never freaking been to Montana.
I'll tell you this.
Unbelievable. Crazy. Absolutely.
It's the silliest comment. And again,
it's almost as silly
Brad,
as
you don't even know you don't know the other end of that. What are you talking about?
You have no frame of reference. It's this Rob Williams rot that's entered people's brains.
We come up with every excuse in the book to not this guy. I don't understand it.
It's crazy.
He's more comfortable starting with the hip and everything. He's more comfortable coming off the bench.
And tonight he's threatening like a quintuple double at halftime.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna do it, man. If this game was close, he might have pulled it off.
Well, let me say this: he should continue to start when Thompson comes back. Thompson's going to have to earn his way back into this rotation period, specifically with something we'll get to later when it comes to buyout centers and stuff like that are floating out there. But he's proven it over a month now. He can defend in space. He's been a lot more reliable on the offensive end of the floor. And John, you saw it again tonight. He can possess that ball in the post a little better now. He's either going to move it right out or he's going to be able to turn and dunk on guys. And you didn't see that second half tonight, but you have seen that in recent weeks. As a starter, I'm expecting some ups and downs, and I'm willing to live with that. I mean, tomorrow against Oklahoma City and Al Horford and all that, I wouldn't be stunned if it's a rougher game for him.
Al Horford plays?
Yeah. So I actually thought this was going to be the tougher one for him. So big credit to him. This was an extremely hard matchup assignment, all that stuff, and he absolutely thrived. So this is what you want to see. Continued progression week in, week out, and it's been a straight upward line for him.
It's not just Rob, and a commenter just made it here, and I agree with this 100%. this was my main Rob argument is, Bobby, you were saying it's easier for him coming in, playing against second unit guys. And mine was, I actually think he's going to play better and elevate the level of the starters.
I agree with that.
It's not super fair to make that judgment on a night where they hit all their threes, because I'm not saying Rob Williams is the factor and the reason why. And if they don't hit all of them, it's harder to make that case. But I do believe he has, because of all the things that he does, it will make the starters better.
No, you're right. Look at the rhythm they played with in those opening minutes. Have you seen a start like that all year from them?
No,
best start. Easily.
So, and people are aware of where he is all the time, and that's the difference. So, like, I think we got it in our own heads that, well, Theis will occasionally shoot a three, and he therefore creates spacing. I think the spacing's much better with Rob, because you have to account for him all the time, and it just created much more space for these guys to operate. And again, you're right. That first quarter, you could see it. They were just free and easy and getting better looks. It was just. And they, like I said, they had a ton of chances to hit him on the roll and they missed them. I think once they start to recognize that, because again, the starters just aren't playing that often with him. You have some Tatum minutes with him, some Smart minutes with him, but as a unit, they haven't really gotten a chance to. I think it can really evolve from there.
I think that's why it was so fresh.
And honestly,
because they have to sag. Sorry, they gotta chase him. They gotta go with him. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that. I was just add those 2 cents there. Go ahead, Jim.
Going to piggyback on what John said. I mean, Rob's out there. That energy is contagious. You just don't really see it with Tristan. I mean, I'm not saying that he doesn't try, but you just don't see it the same way. Rob's running up and down the court, flying around, getting his hands on passes, deflecting out of bounds, diving practically running out of the gym in the second half, trying to save that, which he did save it. The ball that was heading out of bounds, and he sort of saved it in, and I ended up back into the play on the other end. But he gives you that extra little pep when he's out there. I think that sort of rubs off on the rest of the guys. He's sort of like he's like a energy, breath of fresh air, like with the energy. And I think they need that. I think they see that and they kind of feed off of it. The passing is, we talked about, how good of a passer he is already as a big. And the fact
the passing
that
was outstanding tonight.
Yeah. I mean, the fact talking about a triple-double and he had 0 points goes to show you like the types of things that he can do when he's out there. So, all credit to him for sure. I mean, I think every single time he's gotten an opportunity, he's run with it. It's an opportunity to start. Listen, I know Brad Stevens has excuse in the book not to put this guy in the starting lineup, but I think he's run out of actual reasons to now. I think like Rob's just in the starting lineup. I can't imagine him not starting tomorrow.
It's amazing how his hip got better just in time for him to start.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's been
timing on that right at the
it's quietly been 4 weeks since he said that, John. I mean, it's not like time hasn't passed here.
I know, but amazing. It just cleared up. Yeah.
I still think that's the craziest take you've ever had.
That's actually.
Is it crazy or is
it's not even remotely crazy? It's definitely
they made up an injury to play him less that he's had for 2 years.
They didn't make it up. They didn't make up the injury. They made up.
He covered not having played him by using the injury as the excuse for why he didn't play.
Fair enough. And we all agree they need the rim protection tonight. The Bucks hit 40% from three, which feels normal for them. But if you look at the 2-point percentage, that's where they completely fell off the map. And whether it was Giannis or others, I don't know if Giannis was afraid to go inside Jimmy, but he's a deterrent.